We're back with a ticking time bomb from Tehran. A watchdog estimates Iran could build a nuclear weapon in just 1 week as it's been ramping up uranium production. While their nuclear ambition comes as no surprise. What's peculiar is that the UN, along with the New York Times, they seem to be downplaying the Iran threat.
Just last week, the Times wrote a piece highlighting the alleged slowing production of uranium in Iran, adding that Tehran may be trying to ease tensions with the United States. Here now to discuss, former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley in the flesh. Great to have you here.
Hi, guys.
Monica.
So the Times is writing a story clearly that would, favor an Iran appeasement sort of strategy narrative that's working for the president. The truth is it's not working at all. As a matter of fact, the more he tries to appease them, the bolder they get. And here we are. You had Michael Goodwin writing in the New York Post that this could be the tinderbox that turns into World War III.
Yeah, I mean, look, for decades, we've been warning about the potential for Tehran to have a nuclear weapon that's operational, that has a delivery system to get it in short range, medium range, long range nuclear weapons. And now it looks like we are actually at the precipice that they could have this. For years, we have been told, oh, Iran is 3 to 5 years away. And that time period would pass and it would still be 3 to 5 years away, right? And now we're getting this emergency report that they could be as close as 1 week. We actually don't know. But what we do know is that Joe Biden and his original boss, Barack Obama, had years of an appeasement policy toward Iran. The Iran nuclear deal was absolutely catastrophic and bought Tehran a lot of time to make this kind of progress. Joe Biden comes in after Donald Trump for 4 years got us out of that deal and had a maximum pressure campaign, economic, military, diplomatic, to try to stop Tehran from making this kind of advanced progress. But now here we are with Joe Biden, who, has done exactly what Obama did in terms of appeasing Iran. And just in the last 3 years has essentially transferred about $80 billion, and that might be a lowball estimate, between unfreezing previously frozen Iranian monetary assets around the world, but also lax enforcement so that Iran could export oil around the world, particularly with regard to China. China is their major oil customer. So Iran, these illicit Iranian oil exports have financed Hamas and their attack on Israel, has financed the Houthis, has financed all of these Iranian proxy attacks around the world, including on U.S. forces in Iran, Syria, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and the Red Sea.
And it's not like Joe Biden and Barack Obama didn't know this could or would happen. People like you and others were warning that if you have a strategy of appeasement, they're going to take that appeasement and continue their nuclear ambitions. But I wonder, in politics, people can get things wrong. You can judge countries wrong. And maybe that was Barack Obama, maybe that's Joe Biden. But once you see the ills of your viewpoint, you change your viewpoint towards Iran. And it seems like Joe Biden really hasn't. He's still grasping on to the Obama thought process. We could bring Iran into the global family, make them great friends with America. That doesn't seem to be happening as they're funding rebels to attack U.S. soldiers.
It's almost as if Obama and Biden wanted Iran to get a nuclear weapon.
Right.
I mean, I know that's an outrageous statement, but how else do you explain 8 years of Obama and now 3 going on 4 years of Biden doing the exact same policy toward Iran? They have done everything possible to facilitate Iran getting a nuclear weapon and financing this illicit regime, which has been odious since 1979. We have been waiting for the Iranian people for decades now to overthrow this theocratic regime. Every time they rise up and you've got a Democrat in office, we've done nothing, including no moral support for the Iranian people to overthrow this regime. So now we're at this point where if this report is true and Tehran is that close to having operational nuclear weapons, that changes the calculus of every country on earth. It destabilizes not just the Middle East, but the entire world. And all of our Sunni Arab allies are beside themselves. They have been begging the United States. Israel has been begging the United States for help. This is what the Abraham Accords were all about under President Trump, to try to encircle Iran with a diplomatic alliance that includes Israel, possibly down the road, Saudi Arabia. We were so close to getting the Saudis on board of the Abraham Accords, but so many other Sunni Arab states joined in to try to create a diplomatic alliance to counterbalance growing Iranian power. And now here we are under Biden, where we are facing an existential threat of Iran having a nuclear weapon.
Well, and he's actually trying to pressure Netanyahu to create a Palestinian state right now while it's still so raw for people. And the points that you make about Iran, I think, are really important. Destabilizing the Middle East. It's hard to believe that was his intention, that that's his goal, unless there's something sort of nefarious behind it. But that's what's going to happen. Anybody could see it.
Well, that's right. And to Sean's point and to your point, you know, when you're looking at Biden, whether you're looking at the border or the extraordinary out-of-control spending that has happened, any policy that has come out of this administration over the last 3 years, any normal president seeing the negative results of that policy would course correct.
It's not stupidity, right? Yeah.
It's not stupidity. It is not incompetence. All of this is by design. It is all deliberate, and it is extremely destructive.
Policies that make our world more dangerous and our country weaker. Monica Crowley, always good to see you. It's a hard topic, but
next time, rainbows and puppies on the bottom line. Okay?
Joe Biden's got a unicorn out there somewhere, but thank you. We appreciate it, Monica. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.